Hello everyone and welcome to the channel and planet. In our last video we have seen that how to calculate the sum if value, but in that particular case the range was and criteria was only one. For example, we was only calculating the sum with respect to the name of the employees, but in this new table we are going to calculate the sum of the sales values of these particular employees with the criteria either they are from central and which city they are from. So there are two criteria we are going to define. We could have calculated the values for more than two criteria with the same formulas. So let's start. So here we are going to calculate the sales value. For this we have to write sum ifs after equal to sign. The last formula was sum if. This formula is sum ifs. It includes s after sum if and then the bracket start. Then we have to give the sum range in the beginning. The sum range is the sales value. This starts from E4 and goes till E15. Then we have to put comma. Then we have to give range. So we are going to calculate it for the zones. So the ranges are from D4 to D15, comma. So let's select some city from central zone. So defining criteria is central. Now comma, we have to define the second range, which city we want to choose. So we have to select the cities. We have given the range for the cities from C4 to C15, which is in the data. Then comma, then define criteria for this particular cities. As the we could have only selected the central cities. So as we are calculating, we have taken the zone central in the range 1. Now the second criteria for the range 2 is I'm going to choose Lahore. I could have calculated it for any central city like Multan, any central city. So now bracket close and enter. So if I just want to check that same value, if I want to calculate for any other city, for example, if I'm going to calculate the values for Karachi South, then is equal to sign sum ifs bracket start, and then I have to give the range for the values for which I'm going to calculate the value of the sale, comma. Then I have to select the range 1, define the criteria for this particular range. For example, I choose South. Then I have to give the range 2 and then define its criteria. The range 2 is the cities, and for this time I want to choose the sales of Karachi city. So let's select Karachi and bracket close. So if I just want to see that I have rightly calculated these values or not, I could have applied filter. We choose filter from here, it's in data section. We choose auto filter. So now if I choose, as you know, we have calculated this value for the Lahore and this value for the Karachi. So if I want to check what's the sum of the values for the Lahore, I just select Lahore, find out the Lahore values, and to check out their sum, just select this value, and here it will give you the sum value 64,000, which is 64,000 over here. Now if you just want to get values for Karachi, the sum of the sales value is 39,000, which we have calculated, and 39,000 is here. You could have checked it from here as well. Now likewise our last video, if we are calculating the same range of the sum for the rows instead of the columns, there's no difference it's going to be made. So for example, if I want to check this for the same values, I just copy this table and go in some next sheet, and then to convert the rows into the columns, I just select paste special and then just select transpose and OK. Now you could have seen that the values have been accurately calculated even if we have converted the rows into the columns. For example, these sum was for the value of Lahore, so the formula has been shifted from column to the rows. Now as the cities are in rows, these are starting from C4 to N4. So it's C4 to N4. This was our second range, and our first range was basically the zones which was starting from C5 to N5. Here you can see the range C5 to N5. The sum of the values was from C6 to N6. So the formula has been shifted from rows to the columns, so it works equally good for the rows as it worked for the columns if you are calculating the range formula with SUMIF. Now to make it more clear, we are going to calculate the third value. So let's is equal to sign SUMIFS bracket start. So we have to calculate the range of sales starting from this cell to this cell. The row has been selected from C6 to N6, comma. Then we have to define the range 1, the range which was zones. So zones are starting from row number C5 to N5. Then we have to define the criteria. Now as we want to calculate the sales for, let's say we calculated for Rawalpindi, so it's in north, so I define the criteria as north, comma. Now for selecting cities, I have to select the range first, then defining criteria. After comma, I will select Rawalpindi city, bracket close. Now we calculate the sales of Rawalpindi. As you could have seen, the Rawalpindi is only I think once in this table. So yes, it only calculates the value of the sale of the Rawalpindi once, which was 10,000 rupees. So this was all for today. Thank you much for your time.